Tonight on Friday Night Hockey, it's David versus Goliath. The North Bay Battalion have exceeded expectations all season long, overcoming a 3-1 series deficit in round one before a stunning sweep of the Oshawa Generals in the Eastern Conference Final. But on Wednesday in Game 4, Goliath put his foot down.
Finn one-timer, he scores! A 10-1 pounding of the North Bay Battalion.
Now the Guelph Storm are one win away from a chance to play for junior hockey's holy grail, the MasterCard Memorial Cup. Led by a group of future NHLers, the OHL's #1 team might just be too much for the battalion to overcome. The Guelph Storm look to become OHL champions next on Sportsnet. And what a difference a week makes. 7 days ago on Friday Night Hockey, the North Bay Battalion right here at the Sleeman Centre tied up the best-of-7 series with Guelph at 1. Tonight, the Storm have the battalion on the brink. Scott Kosmachuk, Winnipeg Jets property. Barclay Goodrow, battalion captain, wants to take this one back to North Bay for Game 6. And here was the scene 2 weeks ago. The Guelph Storm celebrating a 5-game win over the Erie Otters to capture the Wayne Gretzky Trophy, top team in the OHL's Western Conference. Good evening. Welcome to Friday Night Hockey Studios. Jeff Marek alongside Damien Cox, John Shannon, RJ Broadhead, Sam Cosentino, Rob Faulds at the Sleeman Centre as we speak. And we rewind here, Damien, to Game 3. And you could make the argument this entire series sort of hinged on something pretty rare. A called back empty net goal by Nick Paul of the North Bay Battalion.
Well, and as you talk about it, it almost is a little bit reminiscent of, we remember the Olympics when the American women rolled one down, hit the post, and then Canada came back. Well, the same kind of thing happened to the North Bay Battalion. It was very tough on them. Nick Paul doesn't get that empty netter because they were offside. Right away, Zach Mitchell goes down and scores, and then right away they score again. And all of a sudden, in 30 seconds, what looked like a 2-1 series lead for the North Bay Battalion was instead a 2-1 series deficit. And they played Game 4 as though they were still feeling that. So how does Stan Butler now bring them back? They're a devastated hockey team right now, or they had to be. They've had a day off, a day of practice, a chance to pull themselves. Remember, it was just last Friday that they won a game in Guelph, so they've got to try to get themselves back to that point and start all over again.
The one thing we've seen through this series is how powerful the offensive side of the gate the Guelph Storm are. 11 different goal scorers for this club, and really most of the series, certainly the first 3 games, have been played at North Bay speed. North Bay has dictated most of the time what's going on. What Guelph was able to take advantage of, turnovers in the North Bay zone, and then that great offensive skill came through. That, to me, is something that Stan, in his pregame speech, would have had to tell the guys, listen, we can do whatever we want. We can play North Bay hockey, but we cannot give the puck in our own zone to people like Kosmachuk, like to Reichel, to Fabry. Those are the guys that are going to have to be watched and checked beyond reproach tonight if North Bay has a chance to take this back to their own barn.
Should be an interesting game. By the way, we should say hello to all our fans watching at the Memorial Gardens in North Bay on the big screen. Hello to our fans there. They want to see Game 6, but Guelph would like to end it tonight. High fives all around. Game 5, the Storm and the Battalion coming up next.
Friday Night Hockey on Sportsnet. Brought to you by MasterCard. For everything you need to compete this season, there's MasterCard. By Jack Link's Beef Jerky, feed your wild side. And by Old Dutch, the official chip of the CHL. With Old Dutch, quality lives here.
Welcome to the Sleeman Centre in Guelph, Ontario. Will the Storm win the Rogers OHL Championship, or will North Bay force a Game 6? We will find out over the next couple of hours before the puck drops. It's time for O Canada with Charles D. Romando.
Ladies and gentlemen, would you please rise and remove your hats and join Canadian recording artist Charles D. Romando for the singing of O Canada. O Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all thy sons come.
and with glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true North, strong and free. From far and wide, O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God, keep our land glorious and free. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
And the fist pump celebration in the Guelph Storm sweater, an emotional rendition of O Canada from Charles D. Romando to get the fans at the Sleeman Centre fired up. You know the Storm are fired up, trying to wrap up the series. Rob Faulds is standing by with Storm captain Matt Finn.
Matt, we take a look at how dominant you guys were in Game 4 in North Bay, but you throw that away except for the W. It has been a very tight series against this battalion squad.
Yeah, definitely. You know, every game's been overtime or 10 seconds left other than that one. So, I mean, it's been a crazy series, and, you know, we got a lot of heart, and so do they, so it's going to be a great game tonight.
How important is it for you guys to set the pace in the first 10 minutes?
It's huge. We control this first period here. I think we'll set ourselves up nicely for the rest of the game.
Thanks very much. Good luck.
Thank you.
Matt Finn is ready to go. So too are the Guelph fans. It's going to be loud. It's going to be noisy. The perfect situation for RJ Broadhead and Sam Cosentino. Boys.
Well, anytime there's an elimination game, you know there's passion, and Jake Smith plays with a lot of passion. The 19-year-old from Oakville, Game 4 of this series for the first time all playoffs that he was pulled. He needs a bounce-back game for North Bay. And Guelph will go with Justin Nichols once again. The 18-year-old from St. Catharines just coming off his best game of the series in Game 4, where he allowed just 1 goal on 23 shots, and he has been terrific for the Guelph Storm throughout the playoffs. Both of these franchises have had banner seasons. North Bay, first year back in that city. The community thrilled to have a team back. A slow start, but they've been one of the best teams since December. And the Guelph Storm, only team ranked in the CHL in every week, set all kinds of franchise records. Both will reflect on wonderful seasons, but only one will play for the MasterCard Memorial Cup. North Bay hemmed in right away by the Guelph Storm, and you know the Storm want to keep momentum after that 10-1 win in Game 4. They'd love a fast start here in Game 5.
Yeah, no question. They want to just continue to build on that momentum, and it's up to North Bay to get a good touch, a good scoring chance, something early on to help them regain their confidence.
Ben Harper at center. Sends it back into the North Bay end. The top line for the battalion has to head off for a change. They spent their first shift in the defensive zone. Zach Mitchell, Robbie Fabry, along with Kirby Reichel. They have been a force for the Guelph Storm in this postseason. They're out there now. Mike Amadio steals. Hands off to Matthew Santos. He has 2 goals in this postseason. Both have come in this series. Phil Baltusberger, that one had some backspin on it. Kirby Reichel can't clear. Some bounces going the way of North Bay. Amadio, he can't get past his man. Shot from Miller. That was blocked in front. That is just outside the line. Robbie Fabry. He's at the end of a shift. He'll toss it into the corner. Let Stephen Pirog, fresh off the bench, come in and finish his check.
But Pirog's been a nice add, brings a lot of energy. Hunter Garland going the other way in that trade to Peterborough. It worked out really well for Hunter Garland, and Pirog, he just added a little more grit to this Guelph team.
Tyler Bertuzzi. His pass will be picked up by Steven Trojanovic. Wraps it around for Bertuzzi. He sees a hit coming from 16-year-old defenseman Riley Bruce. Stolen behind the net by Hugh Suter. He had a couple of goals in that 10-1 win for Guelph.
One of them shorthanded, which is really his specialty, but as a result of his fine play 5-on-5, earned a little more ice time from Scott Walker in that game.
Zach Wesley moves it to an open side. That'll come all the way out to center where Miles Liberati comes up with it. Brock McGinn quickly ahead to Scott Kosmachuk. Foul gets on his feet as Kosmachuk hustled in, missed the net with his shot though. Puck comes in front. Guarded there by Dylan Blugis, and he moves it ahead to Vincent Pramplin, who's being harassed by Dickinson, who was forced to dump it in. Dickinson, first round pick of the Dallas Stars. Stars had 2 picks in the first round. Valeri Nichushkin, the other one. Brock McGinn, a great chance, and he missed the net. Dickinson trying to work his way off the boards. Pick your poison with Guelph. Talked about the Fabry line being good. The McGinn, Kosmachuk, Dickinson line's been effective too.
Well, that's just it, RJ. You look at 10 goals scored in the last game, 9 different goal scorers, so it tells you everything about the depth of this Storm Hockey Club.
This is the line for North Bay that has to get it done in this postseason. The line of Barkley, Goodrow, Nick Paul, and Ben Thompson has scored 48% of the playoff goals for the battalion. Mitchell in front to Fabry. It's stopped by Smith. He took that peer over his shoulder, but he had it in his pads and stops play.
Well, RJ, you talk about the depth of this Guelph Storm team. Pick your poison. Well, first, it's a great opportunity for Guelph. Brock McGinn just sitting in that high slot. Puck comes right to him. He gets a chance, but just misses. And then Mitchell gets it to Fabry out in front of the net. As it goes through Reichel, right onto Fabry's tape. He takes just 1 second, and that little tiny bit of a delay allowed Smith to get in position, make a save. Good for his confidence early on after being pulled after 7 of those 10 Guelph goals.
Thompson behind the defense, coming in on a breakaway. Puck bounced on Thompson as he tried to shoot. Then he put it into the feet of Nichols, and that was a bit of a challenge for the Guelph goalie to make sure he didn't kick it in himself.
Well, you talk about puck luck and bounces, and sometimes when you're feeling good and confident, those things go your way. But when your heart's been ripped out of you, as it has been for North Bay, those type of things happen to you.
Justin Auger, he circles the net. The Los Angeles Kings draft pick throws it into the corner for Horvat. Bauman, he had wood in his sights. Auger finishes his check. Brendan Miller, he is on a 9-game point streak, second on the battalion in scoring in this postseason, behind only Captain Barkley Goodrow.
Well, I've really loved his play in this series. He's got a bright future ahead of him, does Miller. And when you look at a guy who was a relative unknown coming into the postseason for North Bay, he's really proven to be a good one.
Turnover, Bertina's shot off Trojanovic's stick. Trojanovic hits his man in the corner. Pirog sends it ahead to Tyler Bertuzzi. He dumps it in, but that's too high. It's over the glass.
RJ, you get a couple of good opportunities for Guelph with McGinn and Fabry, and then one is able to spring back the other way. Good block shot. Thompson's fleeing the zone, and right here, the puck goes on end on him, so much so that he fans on the shot completely. He figures he's got it flattened, but as he goes over the logo on the ice, it flips back up on end over his stick, and a great opportunity taken away for the New Jersey Devils prospect.
Face-off win for the Storm. Trojanovic gets to center, and he'll send it into the battalion end. Smith had a notion to come out, but the dump-in wasn't hard enough. It didn't get to the trapezoid zone for him. It's okay. His battalion teammates have the puck, and they break out of their zone. Led by Connor Jarvis. His shot is off Trojanovic. Trojanovic, number 3 for Guelph. He's blocked a lot of shots early on in this one. Kosmachuk wraps it around to Dickinson. Scott Kosmachuk in front of the net. He's number 24, Winnipeg Jets draft pick. He was 3rd in the OHL in scoring with 101 points during the regular season.
It's just a brilliant year. I think of all the Guelph players, and I look at his development and say he's probably taken the biggest stride year to year from last year. So Smith gets the touch, and the talking begins, of course. Kirby Reichel right in the middle of it. Stan Butler is the head coach of the North Bay Battalion, and that's all this franchise has ever known. The head coach and general manager, got to spend some time with him before the game, and it's just human nature when you get into a situation where what happened to North Bay in Game 3 happened. It's tough for kids to recover, and that's what he was hoping for. A good first 10 minutes here just to kind of quell the storm a little bit and then get back into his team's game that John Shannon talked about off the top of the broadcast. they imposed their will in games number 1 and 2. This thing could have been 2-0 very easily.
And he did mention that their captain, Parker Goodrow, would tie a big thanker. He just blocked a shot off the inside of an ankle, and he's trying to gut out the rest of this shift. Working to get open. Pass from Wood was knocked down by Fabry. Then Goodrow threw a big hit on Fabry. And that will be whistled on the offside. Game 5 of the Rogers OHL Championship. Scoreless thanks to blocks like that. Keys to the game tonight brought to you by Irwin Tools, makers of the original Vice Grip plier, what working men reach for when they need to get work done. Visit Irwin.com for info on all Irwin products.
Stan Butler has to think about Niagara Falls. When they were down 3-1 in that series, they came back to win it in 20 years ago, but I might be dating myself a little bit there, so that's what they can channel on. Scott Walker looks like a guy who hadn't slept in weeks when we saw him before the game. That's how nervous he is, and it's funny because as part owner and the head coach of this hockey club, the wins and losses are way more stressful on him than when he was a player, which I find hard to believe.
Well, he's a passionate guy, and those who remember Scott Walker as a player know he would do anything it took to win. And a bit of a helpless feeling when you love your players and you can't do much on the bench except just tell them what to do and hope they listen.
Yeah, the most control you have over things is your preparation. And of course, with Bill Stewart and Todd Harvey behind the bench, they have that figured out. You can, of course, run the bench to a certain extent, but in terms of execution and the ability to actually put the puck in the net or make a save, you don't have that when you're a coach. You just don't have that opportunity. As a player, you can control that. If you had a bad game, you'd come back and have a better game. But that option doesn't present itself when you're in the suit behind the bench.
Well, there's no doubt he cares.
No, you got to love that. And I think his players see it, and they think they feed off it. And he's done a wonderful job with this hockey club. And you know, the thing is, RJ, when you have a hockey club that's this deep, first-round picks, potential first-round picks, guys that are signed to NHL contracts, that's a really tough thing to manage. We saw it a little bit with Dominic Ducharme and the Halifax Mooseheads last year. A, you got to find everybody ice time. B, you kind of have to massage everyone when things aren't going well. And, you know, when guys are hurt and out of the lineup and wanting to get back in, you have to find a way to make everybody happy. That's not easy when you have a star-studded hockey club.
It's tough to say they've had stretches where things have not gone well. I'm sure Scott Walker could tell you some, but when you look at their record and dropping back-to-back games only twice all season long, it's been a very successful season for the Storm.
Well, you know, 52 wins, the model of trying to close it out, win that 4th game of the series to win the Ontario Hockey League Championship.
Miles Liberati, he's won an OHL Championship. That was with the London Knights. Didn't play a huge role on the Knights team, but he can now move to North Bay, playing a much bigger role with the battalion. Miller, he shot from long range. Nichols saw that the whole way and redirected it to the corner. Dickinson, he's battling against Paul, 2 Dallas draft picks, and Guelph comes up with a puck. Brock McGinn, pick of the Carolina Hurricanes, put it off the backboards, and before it could come in front, Jake Smith covered it up.
Well, this is going to be a huge rebound game for Jake Smith. You talked about it when we were introducing the goalies off the top of the broadcast. I mean, pulled after 7 goals in that 10-1 loss, and we talked to Stan Butler about that. When is the right time? When you know things are going to go sideways for your hockey club, he said, listen, the mentality is you kind of have to think ahead a little bit, and you don't want to embarrass Smith, and you don't want to put Brendan O'Neill, the backup, into a bad spot because he hasn't played at all in the playoffs. So it was a very fine line, but he figured, knowing Smith's personality, that 7 goals was enough to get him out of there, and he felt that he would rebound here tonight.
Kirby Reichel can't get his dump-in attempt past Dylan Blugis. Bertina sends it into the Guelph end. Bogdanovic right in front of Bertina immediately. Robbie Fabry, he's leading the team in goals in this postseason with 13 of them. Mitchell leads all playoff scorers in the OHL, whistled one high. Amadio took a hit from Mitchell at center, was able to get the puck behind the Guelph net. Nichols will play it himself. Nick Ebert sends it out to center. That's knocked down by Bruce. Jamie Lewis enters the Guelph end, takes a look for somebody open. None of his teammates were. Liberati puts it out of the reach of Pirog. He continues after it. Following up with Hugh Suter, the import from Switzerland. Sends it to the corner for Bertuzzi. Got it in front of the net. Chance for Pirog. And peeking over his shoulder again was Jake Smith, but again, he had it the whole time.
Yeah, and you can tell just a little shaky with some early touches for Smith, but the key thing there is that nothing has got past him to this point. And a good job here by Guelph to dig this puck out of a board 50-50 puck situation. Bertuzzi in front of the net, the rebound's created. And right there on the doorstep for a golden opportunity was Steven Pirog, who his ice time is increasing as this series goes on.
Kosmachuk wastes no time as he enters the North Bay end again. His shot is off a stick, bouncing around. Wood had it for a moment. Gets it to the line, not out. Now in front of the net, Kosmachuk's looking for it. He retrieves it. That was a redirect that wound up going right on Smith, and a sharp save by the Battalion goal. Miller, the defenseman, leads the rush. Comes over to Lewis. He snaps one right on Nichols, but he makes the save, and he'll hang on this time.
Well, RJ, good rush here, and it starts with Matt McLeod in his own end. He does a really good job in an outlet play. He makes a nice patient play. Miller just decides to jump the rush because he knows he has McLeod back there. They go cross ice, but Nichols is there to make a stop, and a little more traffic in front will be the key moving forward here for the North Bay Battalion. Anything Nichols sees, he's able to stop. He's proven that throughout the course of the playoffs.
Brett McKenzie will be removed from the draw. In comes Jared Stay. He's been used sparingly by Stan Butler in this postseason. He's number 17 for the Battalion. Vincent Kraplin. He's number 10. He's also an import from Switzerland. He was second on the team in scoring during the regular season. He only has 4 points this postseason. They need him to start producing.
Couldn't pick a better time.
Kraplin chasing it down now. Took a hit from Fabry. Sent it into the Guelph end. Another Swiss import is Phil Baltisberger. He's number 6, and he rifled it out of his own zone.
And he and Kraplin played together on Switzerland's World Junior team here in 2014, so they know each other quite well.
Nichols leaves it behind his net. A slight communication whether Harper or Baltisberger were going to go get it, and as a result, the puck stays in. Auger was able to come back and help his defenseman out, steal it away from Goodrow, and then iced it. 9:53 to go in the first. Still waiting our first goal.
Behind the Guelph bench with Scott Walker. Coach, you told us before the game you wanted your team to skate. Are you getting that effort from them?
Yeah, most parts, you know. I mean, I wish we were skating more, but, you know, it's a big game for them and lots of nerves. But right now we just got to start chipping it and get on our horses and get going, get behind their D and work them, wear them down.
Thanks very much.
All right, thank you.
I also said to him at the start of the break, guys, that he wanted to get pucks in deep and really work the puck down low to see if they could get something in front.
Well, that's just it. I mean, Scott Walker feels his team is at its best when it's skating, and he felt in games 1 and 2 here on home ice that wasn't necessarily the case, although they were able to come out with that Jason Dickinson overtime winner to take a split here. But it's a pretty good indication early on about how his team is going to be.
Dangerous shot from Bluchis. That created a chance in front of the net. Amadio with a nice move and a low shot kicked aside by Nichols. Well hemmed in right now. Battalion sensing maybe a chance to get the early lead. Cortina takes a hit along the board. Hugh Suter puts it behind his own net. Krajanovic has plenty of time now. The overage defenseman goes cross ice, puts it on the tape of Suter. Heading to the front of the net is Bertuzzi. It gets all the way to Smith, and he will hang on with Steven Pirog right at the top of the crease.
All the talent the Guelph Storm have, and one guy that you can focus on is Robbie Fabry. First-round pick upcoming in the National Hockey League draft. You can see he has been the target. He gets bumped by Goodrow there. Good opportunity, and they have tried to play physically against him. A big chop there by Goodrow, and they continue to bump Fabry to try and throw him off his game. And it's a perfect opportunity for a guy who's smaller in stature to prove that he has no issues taking the physical side of the game. In fact, a game like this can help a guy like that out.
58 goals for Fabry if you combine the regular season and playoffs. A consistent performer. Hebert loses it along the board. Goodrow saw a hit from Finn coming, had to stop to avoid the hit. Kosmachuk Sent it past Goodrow, got it back. Liberati will send it into the Guelph end. And the captain of the Storm ahead to Kosmachuk, but he couldn't get a piece of it. And that is icing. And then Liberati gives a shot to Kosmachuk, and he wanted a penalty call.
Doesn't look like anything further will result, but to continue on with Robbie Fabry in the games in this series, he's got averaged a goal per game, +4 rating, 7 points, tied for first in the OHL with 13 goals here in the 15 games he's played coming into tonight. So no question he's a goal scorer. We've seen him show the ability to distribute the puck. He can handle the physical game. We've seen that here tonight. So a guy who wins some draws, a lot to like about Robbie Fabry for National Hockey League teams coming up in June.
He has a defensive zone draw. Won't be against Jamie Lewis. Connor Jarvis comes in to take it. And Fabry wins it clean.
Oh, and Fabry just took a shot right in the chops. I mean, target #1 tonight.
And he's still in his own zone. Baltusberger works into the corner. Fabry will stay on the ice. Reichel's behind the net. Reichel trying to spin away from Blugis. That's not easy to do. Mitchell takes a look in front. Nobody open. Lets to go to Harper, and his shot's blocked by Jarvis. Fabry, he's okay now. Following up. Now heads to the front of the net. Doesn't get the pass. Harper, the Ottawa Senators pick. #7, the big defenseman for Guelph. Can't keep it in long. North Bay gets to center. Matt McLeod sends it in. The overage forward. He was 5th on the team in scoring. Fabry to Reichel. A good shot of his up high in the shoulder area of Smith, and he catches that one and hangs on, and things starting to get chippy out there.
He's got an NHL-style shot, does Kirby Reichel. Another one of those good Columbus prospects up and coming. Takes the feed from Fabry and lets it fly, and it stung the left shoulder of Smith. And then off the draw earlier, Jarvis and Fabry, you'll see Jarvis go right up into his grill right there, and that's why Fabry went down before he rejoined the play.
Barclay Goodrow. He took a hit from Auger. Crowd cheers. They know Goodrow is a key cog to this battalion team. Here he is with a chance. Led the team in goals and points in both the regular season and the playoffs. Pass in front, broken up by Ryan Horvat. He starts the other way. He's got his line mates up there. One of them was Auger, and he was 3 feet offside.
You talk about the North Bay Battalion, you can't mention the hockey club without mentioning Barclay Goodrow, the captain. And RJ, you mentioned it, how he was the guy to jump to the fore after the 2 tough losses on home ice at the Memorial Gardens in North Bay. He said, boys, pick up your bootstraps. The season's not over. Let's go, and let's try and channel that energy that we saw in that first round series. Went down 3-1 to the Niagara Ice Dogs. And when it comes to Goodrow, it took a little while, but San Jose finally figured out that this guy's worthwhile of being signed. So he signs as a free agent, and there's a ton of potential in his ability to play the pro style of game.
So I'm breathing heavily on the bench. It's been a grind in the playoffs. This is game number 90 of the regular season and playoffs combined for North Bay, and that does not include the exhibition games, so it has been a long season.
23 points in 21 games. And you talked about Stan Butler's top line, along with Nick Paul and Ben Thompson. Goodrow, the centerpiece of that line on the right wing.
Bratina can't steal it away from Finn. Ebert pokes at it. Amadio has it in the corner, but there's 2 Guelph Storm right there. They poke it loose. Santos sends it down low to Bratina. Trying to weave his way away from Finn. Liberati low shot. That was redirected by Amadio. Quick pad save by Nichols. Suter at center. He's forced to dump it in. Jake Smith, he's good at handling the puck. This time he'll just leave it for his defenseman. Ben Harper. Pass just gets to Baltusberger. Now a one-on-one. Bertuzzi has Suter with him. And he can't pull the trigger on a shot. He was tied up by Bruce. Suter stays on it and comes up with it. Behind the net to Pierron. Suter chips it back to the corner. Bruce has time to clear, and he'll lift it up over everybody. This will go down the ice, and will have just enough for icing. Ben Harper took his time getting to it.
It sure did. Guelph Storm on the attack once again. Bertuzzi telegraphs this all the way. He's looking, and finally gets it to Suter, but Riley Bruce does a nice job tying him up, takes the shot away, takes the stick away, and then sends Suter to the ice thereafter.
Dylan Blugis Head to Thompson. He'll send it back to Marcus McIver. Goodrow enters the Guelph end. Saw Thompson ahead, sends it along the boards. Baltusberger takes care of him. Puck comes loose to Paul. Tried to go short side. Blocker with Nichols got in front of it. McIver waited for some traffic but missed the net. Kosmachuk to the line. Blue just does a good job holding the line, but Kosmachuk follows it up. A 2-on-1. Kosmachuk with McGinn. He shoots. Stopped by Smith.
Huge stop for Smith there. 2-on-1. Dangerous Kosmachuk, 49-goal scorer, and able to stop him.
All three battalion come in over the line. They're at the tail end of a shift. Thompson tried to go far side but missed the net. That will come all the way out to center. Kosmachuk still out there. He's right on the tail of Wood. Kyle Wood, a hit from Reichel. He had to sidestep him and turned it over. Reichel walking in front, and he just missed on the backhand. Ball through center as he touches the puck. The whistle goes. Reichel is heading to the penalty box. Crowd at Sleeman Centre doesn't like this. They're not fond of this either, but battalion fans are.
It's one of the great classic cycling races in the world. The Giro d'Italia Stage 2 goes tomorrow, 8:30 Eastern on Sportsnet East. Ontario, West Pacific, and 1, the Giro d'Italia. I know Warren Reichel, the GM of the Windsor Spitfires, is here. Guys, I don't think he's going to be too happy with his son.
No, but pretty similar to the way Dad used to play as he goes after Jarvis. Illegal check to the head is the call, and first power play of the game.
And the power play has been a real oddity for North Bay in this series. You look into the regular season, they were dead last in the OHL, just clicking at over 15%. And through their first 17 playoff games, they're even worse at under 14%. But in this series, they're converting at almost 42%, Sam. So their power play has been good in this Rogers OHL Championship Series.
Well, you know how important special teams are when you get into the postseason, but it's amazing to think that a team went out and won its division with the very worst power play in the league. Somehow Stan Butler's team able to do that. The one thing you could say that consistently happens with this battalion franchise, they've always been amongst the league leaders on the penalty kill, so at least one of those special teams is going well all year.
Important that the power play clicks for North Bay. They need a win to keep this series going and force a Game 6 back in North Bay. Dickinson steals shorthanded. Took a shot, and that'll be off the stick of McIver, but for Guelph, that's okay. That's a face-off in the offensive zone. This power play is brought to you by Power Rocks. Get charged up.
North Bay having trouble getting through the neutral zone. Praplin once, and then Goodrow ends up turning it over. And you don't want to do this to a first-round pick in Dickinson, but McIver does a really good job just getting his stick in the lane. What else is new? Another great defensive play by Marcus McIver.
Brendan Miller out there now. Led the team in defenseman scoring in the regular season, and he's doing it again here in the postseason. Miles Liberati looks sharp as he comes out of his own end. Takes it to the Guelph line. Now sets up shot. Platina goes back to Miller. Takes a look at the net. Cuts to the middle. Hands off to Platina. He'll go to the corner. Back to Miller. That shot. Two Guelph Storm are right there to block it. Both for Tucci and Horvath. Paul with a shot. He scores! Nick Paul on the power play. And North Bay opens the scoring in Game 5.
RJ, you're in an odd man situation, so you want to create even more of that situation. And you'll see as the block shot happens here at the point, you get three Guelph players in a line. That opens up both sides of the ice. On this particular occasion, it goes to the far side to Nick Paul. Paul can take a step in just below the circle, and with the NHL-style shot he has, he's able to bury it. But the block shot, go figure, turns out to work against Guelph, opening up half of the ice for North Bay to get on the board.
Paul had a big power play goal in Game 2 right here at Sleeman Centre, a game that North Bay went on to win in overtime, and comes up with a power play goal from almost the same spot.
Got that great shot, and while releasing it, not giving anything away at all, and so he goes far side, blocker side to beat Nichols.
The Battalion get the lead. 3.5 to go in the first. Jarvis on the right wing side. Lewis is in front of the net. Jarvis can't find him. Brock McGinn. He had over 40 goals. His pass picked off by McLeod. Long shot by McGinn, and that hit the post. McLeod leads the rush for the Battalion. He's stood up by Brock McGinn, who is back covering up for his defenseman. So McGinn in both ends playing a factor on this shift. His shift isn't done. McGinn again. And he scores! Wow! Brock McGinn, how about that? He's tied it!
If it doesn't work once, try again. And that's where McGinn is rewarded, because he hits the post, but he comes back to help out defensively. And when you do that, oftentimes the defense helps create offense. And McGinn picks it up in the neutral zone, realizes he's got a bit of space. So he says, I'm going to let this thing fly. And he does. The cannon of a shot, beating Smith to tie this thing at 1.
That little hitch might have thrown Smith off. Here come the Storm again. Fabry threw it in front. Comes back to the line. Ebert flying around back there. His shot's too high, though. Cortina up the middle. 3 Battalion come in over the line. Liberati's joined the last. Chance for Santos. And Nichols has it in his glove and hangs on.
But things have opened up slightly here, and that's not good news for the North Bay Battalion. They had things playing at their pace. John Shannon talked about it off the top of the broadcast, but things have opened up since that first goal was scored. In an odd man situation, after Guelph gets a chance, North Bay comes back the other way. Liberati down low, but Santos foiled by Nichols, who has been oh so solid. And Santos, who was signed as a free agent, has been a nice piece here for North Bay.
Hugh Suter is sent out of the face-off circle. Bertuzzi comes in against Goodrow, and he's able to beat Goodrow on the draw. Thompson in front, almost connected with Paul. Suter's by himself as he works his way into the North Bay end. Suter comes up with it. Had Pirog nearby, but Liberati stole it away. Miller comes back to help his defense partner, but Suter tried to tuck it around. Smith was there. It's not out. Harper with a shot. Blocked by Thompson. Baltisberger shovels it back in front, and here come North Bay. Goodrow into the corner to Paul. Goodrow at the end of the shift. Thought about staying out there. He'll have to head on. Steven Pirog waits for the wave of Battalion to pass, and then that bought him some time. Suter hits his man Blugis. Miller takes a hit from Bertuzzi. Kosmachuk into the corner to Bertuzzi. Puck bouncing around. The big defenseman Dylan Blugis able to send it ahead. Stay with a road shot playing in his first game of this series. Wouldn't that have been a good coach's hunch by Stan Butler if he put that one in? Zach Wesley. He can't connect with Dickinson. Back and forth we go. Kraplin ahead to Stay. He'll take a long shot. That's off for Janovic. Another block for number 3 for Guelph. Brett McKenzie. Cross ice to McIver. He's got some time. Low shot. Redirect scores. McKenzie got a stick on it. And North Bay's ahead again.
Pretty easy to see why this guy was named the Battalion Rookie of the Year. He played on Team Ontario at the under-17s, won an OHL Cup last year with Oakville, and a great drive-by through the crease off of the McIver shot, bouncing all over the place. Yet McKenzie still able to get some wood on it and tuck it inside the post. But look at McIver, head up all the way, does a great job getting that shot through. He realizes that McKenzie's on his way through the crease, figures if he can get a stick on it, we got a good chance to score, and that's exactly what happens. You have to give this Battalion team a whole world of credit for the way they performed here in this first period.
And in this building, in games 1 and 2, their best periods were periods 2 and 3 in both those first 2 games. So they can come out of period number 1 with a lead. They can build on that for sure. No lead is safe against Guelph, though. We've seen that. Cortina gets to center. Still lots of time in the period, 30 seconds. Amadio Down to Bratina. Sends it back to Amadia. Bratina. Back to the line. Picked up by Bluchis. There's a shot with traffic in front. It was deflected just wide. Robbie Fabry to Kirby Rifle. 10 seconds to go in the period. Rifle stood up by McIver. Fabry follows up. Got a dangerous shot. Smith stopped it. And that will be it as Ebert takes a late shot. The horn goes to end the first, and the North Bay Battalion needed a big period. They need a big game. They're off to a good start. Here's Jeff in the studio.
Yeah, RJ, indeed, as the Guelph Storm look for their franchise's third title. North Bay is saying, hold on, not so fast. Big bounce-back game, as Sam was mentioning, for Jake Smith, netminder for the Battalion. We'll get a little deeper into that with John Shannon and Damien Cox. Also, the candidates for the CHL Player of the Year have been revealed. Brown, Mantha, and Reinhardt. We go a little deeper into those three gentlemen. It is 2-1 Battalion after 20 minutes of play. Back with the first intermission in a moment.
Brett McKenzie has the go-ahead goal for North Bay. It's a terrific redirection. Great work by McIver.
Yeah, I agree. Great pass or shot by him. Got a lot of traffic in front of the net, which helped us a lot.
You guys are playing very well in this building. Any reason?
I don't know. I think it's just the finals, and I think we just want to go to the Mem Cup, so I think that's important.
Brett, thanks very much.
Thank you.
Brett McKenzie. And guys, the thing that drives me crazy is he's 17 years of age. Look at the face fur on him.
I was thinking the same thing, Rob. And he just turned 17 last month. So it is his 16-year-old season in the OHL. Playoff beard, he's got it, and he's got a big goal.
10th overall pick in the draft by the North Bay Battalion. And a guy who last year put up 102 points in 63 games playing for Oakville, who ended up winning the OHL Cup.
One period in the books in Game 5 of the Rogers OHL Championship. North Bay leads Guelph 2-1. North Bay became the first Eastern Conference team to win here at the Sleeman Centre this season, and that was last Friday, that overtime win that even the series had a game apiece. Then Guelph went to North Bay and won both games there. Here they come right off the faceoff. Dickinson had a good opportunity, just couldn't maintain possession. McGinn, the goal scorer for Guelph, behind the net to Kosmachuk. He puts it in front. McGinn couldn't get to it, and here comes Thompson, Paul, and Goodrow. Goodrow puts it on. That was through some traffic. Nichols shot, kick to the side. McGinn loses it at center. McIver quickly ahead to Goodrow. He'll take the shot, and that's off the post. Nichols banged on it. McIver, he led the team with a plus 30 ranking during the regular season, and it wasn't close. That was by head and shoulders the best plus minus on the Battalion.
He almost picked up another one off of this play by Barclay Goodrow. Just after a chance for Dickinson off the opening draw, Goodrow comes down and lets it fly. Nichols swing and a miss. Got just a small piece of it before it went off the post.
Face-off win for the Battalion. Miller's shot, a low one. That hit a couple of bodies in front, never got to the net. Kyle Wood heads back into his own zone. Young defenseman, number 3, leads all rookie scorers in this postseason in the OHL. He has almost as many points in the playoffs as he did in the regular season. 12 regular season points, 10 in the playoffs. He'll have to defend here, though. Here come Reichel, Mitchell, and Fabry. And he defends well. Sends it ahead to Mike Amadio. He goes cross ice. Matthew Santos sends it in behind the Guelph goal. Bratina in the corner. He can't keep it in. Miller takes a look over his shoulder. Saw nobody from Guelph was near him, so he wants to wheel all the way to center. Miller off the end boards. Following up is McLeod. He's dealing with Baltusberger. Bertuzzi. Lofts it to center. Liberati had that bouncing puck. Always difficult to play those. High shot from a sharp angle from Hugh Suter, and Smith reached across his body to make that save.
Well, RJ, you talked about Kyle Wood and his defensive play. And right on cue. Looks a good one there to break up a rush, and then initiates the rush back the other way. Fabry, who's been a target for The North Bay Battalion ends up getting the stick high on Miller, but nothing further resulted from that one. So Fabry trying to exact a little revenge from the beating he took in that first period.
Jarvis comes in onside, pass across to McLeod. He doesn't handle it, but Jamie Lewis is following up. McLeod steals, backhand, the stop by Nichols, rebounds there. Jarvis can't get it on goal. McLeod, he keeps this pressure on. The Guelph Storm comes back in front, but that one's broken up by Leslie. He falls, that allows Lewis to come up with it. Line mates were on a change. Horvat can't chip it along the boards. Another chance. That's stopped by Nichols. Trying to tuck it in. There's Claflin, a crafty move behind the net, but it didn't fool the Guelph goalie. Leslie with a long shot. He put that right on Smith. Smith was alert, kicked it aside. McIver will have to hurry. Saw the hit from Dickinson coming, and this will go the length of the ice and icing against the Battalion.
Well, it's been quite a year for the North Bay Battalion, moving into North Bay after spending all of that time in Brampton. And so Stan Butler and the rest of his team really appreciating the support. And you knew it was going to be rocking and rolling in there in Game 3, and it was. And it was at the start of Game 4, but not very long in that one. And they're sitting there in the Memorial Gardens hoping that they'll get another crack to see their troops live once again.
Suter behind the net. Gets it to Pirog. It's not an easy place to get a victory. Just the third time North Bay had lost on home ice in this postseason. 2 of those 3 in those 2 games against Guelph.
And a large reason is Jake Smith and his play throughout the course of the regular season in the playoffs. 63 games all told with 36 wins. Nice goals against the 2.5. Save percentage up over 9. 7 shutouts for Smith. And so he's had a fabulous year as a guy who really no one ever gave any credit to throughout the course of the year. But he's been nothing short of sensational, especially in the second half. You know, we talked to Stan Butler about the first half and getting off to a slow start, and they were missing some guys injury, guys at camp, adjusting to a new building, not being able to train at home, and starting the year, the first 8 or 9 games on the road. Well, the building got renovated.
McGinn in on the breakaway, put it up high, the net's off.
And so once all that got sorted out, North Bay was able to really find its stride and play well since about Christmas. And you look at McGinn doing a good job getting around Wood. He pulls up, goes to the backhand, and just misses. That's the opportunity there where you think Smith might think he's going forehand, but indeed he doesn't. And the play ends up being stopped as the net is pushed off. But McGinn looks like he too is a guy who's found his stride, and we've seen him a lot up here in the press box over the course of this year. He's been injured or suspended at times we've seen him, but getting a chance to play here regularly, and the Carolina second rounder looking good.
And Scott Walker needs him right where he is in the lineup and producing. One of the 40 goal scorers on this Guelph Storm team. Robbie Fabry had over 40. Scott Kosmachuk led the way with 49. Dangerous shot from Bratina. There was traffic. Fabry got it to Baltusberger. Mitchell along the boards. He's property of the Minnesota Wild, having trouble getting it out. Bratina into the corner. Stops up. Open man in front. That was Amadio. It was blocked by Harper. That stung, but he did get the block. Long change in this second period. Doesn't look like Harper's heading to the bench to get that change. He's going to stay out there.
Good shift there for the draft eligible Zach Bratina.
Amadio has Jarvis with him. Gives it to Jarvis, but can't pick it up on the backhand. Baltusberger, he's hit by McLeod. Puck pops loose. Suter trying to find that loose puck. Harper shovels it ahead. Riley Bruce, 16-year-old defenseman, wants to pinch down and get a chance, and he missed the far side.
A nice read on the play by Bruce. He realized that just by sneaking in, he could keep that puck alive and not do so by putting his team in any danger.
Pirog takes the long shot. Now takes a hard wrist shot. Another key save for Smith. And there will be a penalty coming up. It will be against North Bay, and Guelph will have a chance with a man advantage.
Well, that's a good play to keep the puck in. Bruce gets caught up. He gets called for interference, but previous to that, Harper, the Ottawa pick, stops up here as Bertina sends it into the middle. Amadio with the shot, Harper on a great block, and here's Bruce right in the center of your screen, taking his man to the ice. For that, he's called for interference, and this Guelph power play gets a chance to go to work for the first time.
First two games that went to overtime, the team split up, but Guelph was 0 for 6 in the power play. The last two games which Guelph won, they're 3 for 6. And when this power play gets rolling, they are a tough team to stop. Ebert, the defenseman, puts it in front of the net. Dickinson moves it to McGinn. Behind the net, Kosmachuk muscles his way to the puck. Ebert takes the shot. He's got a good one if he takes it. Works his way to the middle. Hands off to Finn. Smith to save. Dickinson. A couple of whacks at it. Smith will stop play.
Well, you're right, Art. They want to get it into the hands of Nick Ebert. When we were at the 2012 BMO Top Prospects game, he fired a shot 102 miles per hour to win the hardest shot competition. And so North Bay very well aware of keeping an eye on him, and that tends to open up some other opportunities as Finn gets it down low, but Smith does a nice job covering it up, even with Dickinson hacking him to try and free it.
So Finn and Ebert, they're off. The beauty for Scott Walker is he had 4 defensemen with 40-plus points. For Janovic and Leslie, the other 2. They're out there now. Fabry sends it low to right. Can't tuck it in front of the net. McIver read that play. Leslie gives it to Fabry. Back to Leslie. Big shot. That's deflected just wide. So Janovic can't keep it in. Under a minute to go in this power play for Guelph. North Bay leads 2-1. McIver, he'll send it the length of the ice. Nichols plays it to the corner. Jamie Lewis, dangerous down there. Trying to catch up to Fabry. Fabry able to skate away from Lewis. Rifle. Can't keep it in, and now Guelph will have to regroup, and time ticking away on this power play. Lewis takes his time, goes into the Guelph end. He'll take a shot that's off Finn's stick and out of play.
Solid shift there for Lewis while on the kill. And you look at this North Bay team, you talk about scoring in bunches. 21 goals from 11 players just in this series alone. You know, a lot of that coming in that 10-1 win in game number 4. But I think you said it in the first period, pick your poison. That's just how deep this Guelph team is offensively.
Barclay Goodrow's out there. Number 23 for North Bay, led the league in shorthanded goals with 7 this season. Has 2 in the postseason, and here he is on a shorthanded breakaway. Barclay Goodrow walks in, scores! Another shorthanded goal for Goodrow, and North Bay's up 3-1.
RJ, it's one thing to talk, but you have to walk the walk. And Barclay Goodrow, who's the captain, does a great job here in the neutral zone. This puck hops up on Dickinson. Goodrow's there to take it the other way. Slick move to the backhand, just slides it underneath the glove of Nichols. We talked about Goodrow being the guy to stand up and say, hey, the season isn't over until they tell us to go home. And it's one thing to say it, but here in this game, he's walking the walk with the shorty.
That is his 10th shorthanded goal when you combine the regular season and playoffs. Harper takes a low shot. That's wide of the net. Bruce is back on the ice. Battalion back to full strength. And their lead is now 2. Pirog sends it back to Baltisberger. He's got some time. Elects to give it back to Pirog. McIver pokes at it. Pirog gets it in front of the net where Suter was. Bruce, he's forced to play a forward position until he can get a change. Of course, the long change in this second period. Bruce is able to get to the bench, but here come Ford Storm over the line. Bertuzzi took the shot. Smith directed it out of play. And Barclay Goodrow coming through with another huge play for the Battalion.
With Battalion head coach Stan Butler, you told us before the game, Stan, you weren't worried about your team's compete level. They've come out big time in this game.
Well, they've shown character all year, and tonight's no different. And we just told them to go out and have fun today and play as hard as they can, and so far they've been doing that.
Thanks very much, Coach.
Thank you.
RJ, Sam, he also told me, he says, after 90 games, there's not much more I can tell him.
The coaching is done. Let the players go out and do their thing. And to this point in the game, the Battalion have done just that.
First 2-goal lead of the series for the Battalion. That almost was changed to a 1-goal lead as Reichel got a great chance but missed. Matthew Santos sends it ahead to Bratina. He's had some chances in this game. That shot goes off thin and wide. Amadio sends it to the corner. Bratina with that jump in his step. He wants a game 6 back in North Bay. You can tell that. Reichel drops it off for Mitchell. Comes in over the line. Cross ice pass to Fabry. Tried to let a big shot go, but it hit a body and went wide. Matt Finn bounces it off the boards. Mitchell retrieves it. Chops it ahead. Fabry catches it. Then in front to Reichel. And wouldn't that have been something? He could have knocked that down. It was a foot off the ice. A tough play for Reichel. Waltisberger falls down. Blugis was in there bumping with him. Horvat having trouble getting it out. Finally gets it up to Auger. It's a 3-on-2. Ebert and Fabry with Auger, and he can't get the pass across. Jamie Lewis came back to help out defensively. Waltisberger had that come just outside the line. The linesman was right there and spotted it immediately.
Rob Faulds talked to Scott Walker on the bench in the first period and said, yeah, we liked some of the things we're doing, but you could tell he wasn't pleased with his group. And the one thing that he had to worry about coming into this game is guarding against his players thinking ahead. We're a week before the MasterCard Memorial Cup. They're 1 win away. They're coming off a 10-1 win. They're on home ice. All of the factors seem to be in Guelph's favor coming into this one. Well, it hasn't quite worked out that way so far. And credit more North Bay than maybe Guelph being off its game, but it is a combination of both.
2-goal lead is never comfortable. North Bay is well aware of that, especially against a team like Guelph, who can put the puck in the net. Most goals in the regular season in the OHL in 15 years. 240 goals for the Storm.
They scored 5 or more goals on home ice 33 or 34 times this year. So, yeah, they can put it in the net in a hurry.
Averaged 5 goals per game through the regular season and playoffs. Dickinson shot blocked by Liberati. Battalion will have to do a lot of that now. Wesley wastes no time trying to keep the offense going, but that hit a body and put his line mates offside.
Where did all those goals come from? Well, you look at the point production from the Guelph players. This is the OHL playoff scoring leaders. This isn't a Guelph graphic altogether. You got Mitchell leading the way with 31. Fabry has been down a few games. Kosmachuk, Dickinson, and Barclay Goodrow now tied for 5th with Dickinson, picking up his 24th point with a shorthanded goal to give North Bay a 3-1 lead.
Battalion allowed Guelph 40 shots in back-to-back games in games 3 and 4. First time all season they've allowed 40-plus shots against in back-to-back games.
Well, that's, this franchise has a reputation of being very sound defensively, and at times going back, especially early in the franchise's tenure, of being a trap team and a team that played a lockdown defensive style of game. Well, that is still element, but as we've seen throughout the course of this series, this is a hockey club that can score as well.
You get the feeling Stan Butler doesn't like being told he plays the trap.
Yeah. But proof's in the pudding, and I watched a lot of games at the bunker, and I can tell you, I saw some trapping over my time there.
This Battalion team has been exciting. Here's Goodrow again. Always got to be ready for something when he's out there. Matt Finn, his captain counterpart, poked it away. Goodrow's got it again. Paul trying to get open. He heads to the front of the net. McIver sees him, but Paul just can't get a stick on him.
Another smart play by McIver. I mean, he realized there that that was his only lane, and he put it nice and low, hoping to get a stick on him.
Paul trying to work his way in front. Pirog and Finn were both there. Thompson gives it to Blugis, and he tried to come down from his defense position, but the puck is poked out of play. Battalion are up by 2.
What a way to wrap up the Barclays Premier League, and coverage though will start on Sunday at 9 a.m. Eastern. Manchester City plays West Ham United on Sportsnet East Ontario, West and Pacific. Man City only needs a win or a draw to win it all. Southampton will play Manchester United. That's on Sportsnet 360 and Sportsnet World. A great way to wrap it up.
All kinds of championships being played for. OHL Championship could be ended tonight at the Sleeman Centre if Guelph is able to win. North Bay has other plans. Midway through regulation time, it's the Battalion with a 3-1 lead. Fabry goes to the corner against McIver. Reichel in there too. Fabry moves it up to Mitchell. Reichel still waiting in the corner. Now he'll deal with McIver, and McIver makes sure Reichel can't go anywhere. Wesley cuts in front. Low shot stopped by Smith. The rebound was there for a moment. Mitchell took a swipe at it, but the glove of Smith is able to find it and hang on.
Good recognition by Leslie to realize that there's a lane that he can take this puck deep. He pinches in and now takes it right to the slot, getting to the middle of the ice, backhand there, and Mitchell on the doorstep. But a great read by Zach Leslie, the LA Kings 6th round pick in the 2013 draft.
Matt Finn, his shot hit Ben Thompson, and that goes out of play. North Bay, they have shown some heart getting in front of those 12 defensemen shots.
4th round pick by New Jersey in 2012, has yet to sign, so these games very meaningful to Thompson.
You can see power forward written all over Thompson. He's been able to put some points up at the junior level, and he is certainly one of the tougher customers.
And showed a flair this year for the offensive, and I think when it comes to Thompson, you figure that maybe he's just a one-dimensional guy, but at the National Hockey League level, is he going to be a goal scorer? No, but I think time and time again, it's been proven in the National Hockey League that you just can't play that bang and crash game. You have to have some element where you're able to play the game, produce, and be put out in third-line situations, as Thompson might project to be in the National Hockey League. He's proven that he can do that here this year.
Puck bouncing around in front of that North Bay goal. Battalion get it out to center. Ben Harper off the boards ahead to Suter. Lewis sends it right back into the Guelph end. That hit Lewis comes to Baltisberger. He chomps it up to Bertuzzi. Wants Pius Suter to go in and chase it. Miller's the first man to it. Found Jarvis. Again the Battalion safely out of their own end. Stephen Pierrock. He'll send it to the corner. He likes the rough and tumble Duncan Chase game. Barrels into Miller, but Miller still made the play. Bertuzzi spins, sends it in. Smith backs it to the corner, away from Pierrock. Hard-working shift here for this Guelph line of Suter, Bertuzzi, and Pierrock.
Well, I will say this. One thing that won't work for North Bay is sitting back and protecting the lead. That will not work. I can promise you and sit here all day and tell you that.
Kraplin working one-on-one. Trajanovic. Leslie comes back. Now Lewis a chance, and he put it off the post. Another terrific chance for the Battalion. The lead remains 2. Miller with a big hit on Bertuzzi. And he's heading to the box for it.
And Bertuzzi in all kinds of difficulty. He's had neck and head issues in each of the last 2 seasons. And so Miller with that big bump. Bertuzzi at least to one knee. Laurie Stevenson, the trainer, out there to have a look at Bertuzzi in front of the Guelph bench. But Kraplin has this puck picked off, recovers it, but gets it over to Lewis. And Lewis's shot goes off of Nichols, off the post, and stays out. And here's Miller, makes the play, and then he continues moving forward, and he catches Bertuzzi right in the head. Oh, boy.
Talk about tough customers, power forwards. Bertuzzi's one of those. He's on the bench now for the Guelph Storm, and the Guelph Storm are on the power play. Last time they had a man advantage, Barclay Goodrow scored shorthanded. He is out there killing this penalty for North Bay. Quick move at the line by Mitchell. He doesn't like the call. It's whistled for the offside.
Mitchell, the overager, leading the Guelph in scoring. Barkley Goodrow leading the battalion in point production. Couple of goals versus Niagara, 4 in the Barrie series, 5 more in Oshawa, and he's got 3 in this series, including the shorthander here tonight.
So those 3 goals, one's a game winner, one's a power play, and one's shorthanded.
14 now all told to lead the OHL in goals here in the postseason. So Goodrow has done everything and more that you can ask for from a captain.
Kirby Reichel comes in over the battalion line. He was acquired from Windsor along with Nick Ebert. They're both out there on this #1 power play unit for Guelph. From the logo on his jersey, Goodrow sends it ahead. Thompson doing it short-handed. It's in the net. The referee saying it is not a goal. It's off a glove and immediately waves it off.
Well, I think they'll go up and have a look at this one, but if you're Stan Butler, you're saying it's just a simple continuation. There was no intent. Now, the one thing you have to consider here is the goaltender interference angle as well. But a good play by Goodrow. He falls to the ice, uses the glove, gets it to the stick, passes it ahead. Little chip here by Thompson, and now he's in a battle with Ebert. And he slows up in front of the crease. I mean, this thing was immediately waved off. He pushes Ebert, goes off of his elbow, and did he make a motion with the elbow moving forward to knock this puck in? There's Nichols up in the air, left side of your screen. No question it goes in. Thompson celebrates, but it was immediately waved off. Good battle with Ebert. He slows up, and you can see that he kind of chicken winged with the elbow. And no doubt they'll be having a look here on site, as well as the OHL War Room located in Toronto.
It can't go in off the glove. And immediately that was the call from the referee, indicating that it was off the glove, waved it off.
I'll give you another look at it. He and Ebert are in a battle, and Thompson pushes Ebert. That allows the puck to move towards the goaltender Nichols. Nichols tries to stop it by using his stick, but because the puck is on end, it flicks up and right into the body of Thompson. And no doubt Thompson made an effort with his arm to direct that puck in.
He might have just been reacting as trying to get to the puck more so than in an effort to hammer it into the net.
Or maybe even thinking to get his arm up to protect himself from continuing into the net. So there are a couple of things there that have to be considered. The one thing we know is this: the goal was called off. That's the call on the ice. So there has to be some overwhelming evidence in order to overturn the goal and make it a good goal.
And what an important call this will be. On the ice, the call was off a glove. No goal. This is a power play for Guelph. North Bay has already scored 1 shorthanded goal. I don't know if you can get a read from Ben Thompson. He might not be sure either. Well, here's the call. No goal.
And so Stan Butler will definitely want the explanation. We went upstairs, we had a look at it. Stan with the smile, thinking that he was able to see it from his angle a little better than where we are on the camera side. And let's get another look at it here. Ebert, Thompson, Nichols touches it. And tough to call it. Did it go in and was it directed in by the glove? Well, immediately was waved off on the ice. That's the way the call stayed. So a second shorthanded goal, all for naught for North Bay.
Still a power play here for Guelph, and still a 2-goal lead for the battalion. Smith leaves it behind the net. Bojanovic, he had to be careful. Paul was sensing another shorthanded chance. North Bay is really getting some opportunities shorthanded.
Well, before that, we were talking about sitting back and protecting the lead. That's not going to work against this Guelph team. I mean, they're just too high-powered. They're here at home. They have a chance to wrap things up. You really have to continue to forge forward, play your game, be responsible defensively, but don't give up on trying to score goals if you're North Bay, because that tactic will not work.
Under a minute to go in this power play. In every Guelph win, they've scored a power play goal. Barkley, Goodrow, Ben Thompson. Two men dangerous shorthanded. We've seen that already tonight. Goodrow took the shot, then took a hit. Able to keep the puck deep. Goodrow will head off for some fresh legs on the penalty kill. Thompson stays up. Kosmachek ahead to McGinn. Brock McGinn walks in, and he's stopped by Smith. Cleared again by the Battalion. Might be time for one last power play rush here for Guelph. Kosmachek, the Winnipeg Jets draft pick. Passes off his skate. Bertuzzi back on the ice. Works his way into the North Bay end. Open man is Baltusberger. There's traffic in front, but he missed the net. Spin and fire from Bertuzzi. Rebound. Put wide. Bettina sends it out to center. Out of the penalty box was Miller. Baltusberger had backed off, knowing Miller was coming out. He broke that play up. Harper. Head to Bertuzzi. He just chips it out to center. That's picked up there by Matthew Santos. Baltusberger to Bertuzzi. Pass stopped by Amadio, and Santos is down behind the play. Here's the hit on Santos from Bertuzzi.
Sportsnet Magazine asks the question, will Thomas Vanek stay in Montreal for anything less than a cup? You can find out in this issue of Sportsnet Magazine at sportsnet.ca/magazine. And speaking of cups, there's a pretty good one up for grabs. The 2014 MasterCard Memorial Cup. The Quebec Major Junior Hockey League faces London next Friday, 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific. You can see it on Sportsnet East, Ontario, West, and Pacific. Gentlemen, I wandered by both benches, and there's a definite energy level difference. Guelph seems very quiet, very reserved, while there's a little more uppity, a little more intensity, rather, on the North Bay bench. It'll be interesting to see whether or not Scott Walker can get his troops fired up again.
Well, it has been an inspired effort by North Bay so far. Ebert put it in front of the net. Nobody there for Guelph. Jarvis up ahead to McLeod. He'll take a shot from long range, and Nichols got a piece of it, and it went out of play. So we went to break. Santos took this hit from Bertuzzi.
You see the right leg gets hung up behind him and under his rear end, and that's what he actually got hurt. You'd figure it was the shoulder because of the contact, but that right leg spun around, and he fell on top of it. Well, Bertuzzi known to throw big body checks. It wasn't the shoulder that caught him, but the right knee of Santos that has had him go off the ice.
And it's too bad because he's had a good series for North Bay. Hopefully he can come back. Both of his playoff goals have come in this series.
Yeah, I agree, RJ. He's been a really nice piece here as a free agent signing, a guy who's really been a big part of things for North Bay in this series.
Kosmachek causing some chaos behind the net. Got the puck loose. Now back to Leslie. He dumps it to the corner. Dickinson will go after it. Blue just right behind him. McFall doesn't clear. McGinn takes a shot, bouncing puck. Kosmachek took a swipe at it, didn't connect. Thompson for the open man, McIver. He'll move it to center. Now Paul and Trojanovic will battle for it in the corner. Paul has a power play goal in this game. All tied up with Trojanovic. Moves it to Goodrow. His pass hit his shin pad. Everybody was back for the Storm in good defensive position. Goodrow with some skating room now. Amadio heads to the front of the net. Goodrow shot off Trojanovic's stick, and Trojanovic has done a good job getting in front of battalion shots in this game.
Yeah, Goodrow's sneaky with that shot. We've seen him come across the ice and do that on a couple of occasions where you think there's going to be a big windup, but it's a lightning quick release, and Trojanovic did a nice job getting his stick on it, because as he cuts across, he's got his head up. You think he might go back, but the pass, and just a quick little snap towards the net, but Trojanovic not giving up any ground.
Mario wins the face-off. Brendan Miller. Now Bertuzzi. Tyler Bertuzzi passes behind Pirog. Baltusberger jumps into the play. Had that open side, but missed the net. Cortina with Claflin. Miller wants to jump into this rush too. Baltusberger rolling puck. Those are dangerous when you put them off the glass. That one stayed in play. Auger uses the boards and his 6'7" frame to get around Miller. Back to Baltusberger. Takes a look at the net. Can't find a lane to get it through Claflin. Bertuzzi and Miller. They battle for it behind the net. Baltusberger. To Auger. Amadio had it for a moment. Pirog waiting for some help. Bertuzzi slowly heading to the front of the net. Miles Liberati staying right with Pirog. Now they'll have to deal with Bertuzzi. Mitchell down to Pirog, back in front. Ebert's there, stopped by Smith. Jake Smith came out to make a big save. Now Ebert another chance. It's bouncing around just in front of his crease. Well, couldn't get to that loose puck. Claflin sends it down the ice. That won't be icing, but it will be a reprieve for the battalion. Fabric quickly in over the line. Spots Mitchell. Stops in the corner. Goes back to Finn. Matt Finn's shot. I don't know if Smith saw that. He was up high anyway. There's another shot from the other side. Ebert is stopped by Smith. A big push here from Guelph. Ebert shot. Lewis blocked it. Ebert still somehow kept that puck in. Reichel goes cross ice to Matt Finn. Back in front of the net. It's bouncing around and just goes wide. Mitchell over to Ebert. Tried to make a backdoor pass to Mitchell. It was out of his reach. Reichel behind the net. Now to Fabry. This is 5-on-5. Finn walks right in and scores. Matt Finn brings the Storm to within one.
This is all Nick Ebert right here. He does such a great job at the line. He keeps the puck in there, and it actually bounces off Lewis, who made an original block. And the puck remains in the zone, and because of that, North Bay's defenders get tired. Fabry gets it over to Finn. Finn has to kick it from his skate to his stick, and when he does so, that pulls Jake Smith over, but he can't get over far enough inside the short side post. 3-2.
Wow, what a shift from the Storm. Here they come again. Kosmachuk. He didn't miss that top corner by much.
Well, that's just it, RJ. We talked about not being able to sit on a lead. North Bay can ill afford to do that against this high-powered Guelph offense. And just seconds after the goal, Kosmachuk with a golden opportunity, but he gets it on the toe. And as a result, just high and over the net.
And over the glass. So the faceoff comes outside the North Bay blue line. Under a minute to go in the second period. Guelph with a huge goal to get to within one. Leslie sends it into the North Bay end. Miller to the line. That's not out. Trojanovic into the corner. Miller will get another chance to clear. Some help by Thompson. Battalion got it to center. Crowd at the Sleeman Center's alive now.
And Goodrow's going to get called. McGinn and Goodrow, they're both going to go to the box here. And this might just be the break needed to cool things down here for North Bay. And see a big hit there as McGinn gets the elbow up, and then as he leaves, Goodrow gives him a whack in the back of the legs. Now, I thought he had pointed at McGinn to go to the box as well.
Yeah, I think
that's the case.
Yeah, just with 28.1 seconds to go in the period, McGinn will head to the dressing room. And it'll be Miller who gets the penalty for North Bay. So not that they want Miller off the ice, the battalion, but at least they get to keep Goodrow on the ice for 4-on-4. Finn, a shot from the line. That one stopped by Smith. Goodrow's pass. That finds Lewis. Matt Finn, the Maple Leafs draft pick. Big goal. Has brought Guelph to within one. Ebert sensing a chance here, circles the net. Mitchell a chance. Oh, what a save by Smith. Ebert again. And that one just missed the net. Oh boy, the buzzer goes. And a good thing for North Bay. They need a break. Guelph was starting to come and had a couple of late chances in an effort to tie it.
The battalion really starting to reel towards the end of this period, getting caught on its heels. Ebert so brilliant here in the last 5 minutes of the period, sets up Mitchell and then gets a chance himself, tries to follow that up, but a good play by Blue just to knock the puck out of harm's way on the second chance opportunity.
A one-goal game. North Bay leading Guelph, a period to go. What a finish we have in store. Here's Jeff.
Great, Rob.
Commentators' clothing provided in part by Z Zenya.
Play of the second period brought to you by Stag Chili Saves for Success program, where saves made will result in contributions up to $30,000 to minor hockey teams. Go to stagchili.ca for details. A couple to choose from, John Shannon. What you got for us?
Well, little doubt that Barclay Goodrow is fueled by Stag Chili this night. Best player on the ice for the battalion, including this shorthanded goal to give them a 3-1 lead. They're still up by one as Barclay Goodrow, the captain of the battalion, makes the Stag Chili play of the period.
Back here at the Friday Night Hockey Studios. Has he been the best player on the ice, John Shannon?
He has been for me until that last few minutes when Guelph put on the full storm, right?
Yeah, absolutely, and it's 3-2 after 2 periods of play. Welcome back to the studio. Robbie Fabry here, Damien, could put himself in a very interesting position should the Guelph Storm move on to the MasterCard Memorial Cup. Explain.
Well, because if he may get the opportunity to continue to play and continue to wow the scouts. There aren't many kids who are high picks for this upcoming NHL draft who are still playing. Kevin Fiala, who's still playing at the World Championships, the Swiss kid, he's one. But there aren't many, and Robbie Fabry has a chance to do that. Now, if the North Bay Battalion have their way, they're going to make life awful difficult for him and try to knock off the Guelph Storm. And they were tough on him in the first period. And you know what? They kept on being tough on him as they really tightened up the checking on all the Guelph Storm in that period. But then late in the period, there he is with a great pass to Matt Finn in the slot. So they were able to control Fabry, but then he made a play. And again, that's what scouts, they're going to look at that and say, here's a kid, not a big guy, pushed around, checked hard, still made a play. He's got the ability at this time of year and maybe beyond this weekend to get a chance to wow the scouts while all the other top prospects are, well, getting ready for the combine.
And, he's been compared to Jeff Skinner for only the kitchen range with that size and that acumen. One team, John Shannon, we do know will be in the MasterCard Memorial Cup that we haven't seen going back to April the 11th. And tonight, the London Knights held an intra-squad game. Team Green versus Team 11, Team Green rather. And all proceeds at Budweiser Gardens did go some fog there. Proceeds went to charity. This isn't unlike what we've seen, with Shawinigan a couple of seasons ago. And Damien,
number one there?
The Saskatoon Blades last year went, after getting swept by Medicine Hat, 51 days between games.
And it didn't go very well. I mean, that was a weird Saskatoon team. Remember during the year, they had the terrible start, and then they had an 18-game win streak. But then they had 51 days off before the Memorial Cup. And guess what? They went in and won one game. They did not have a great Memorial Cup. Now, they weren't a great team, and as you said, they got swept by Medicine Hat. Here's the weird part. The one game they won at the Memorial Cup last year, they beat the Halifax Mooseheads, the team that went on to win the whole thing. So it's not a recipe, that's for sure, for success.
Here's the question then. You're the London Knights. You've seen what happened to Shawinigan, what happened to Saskatoon last year. Two different stories. What are they doing to ensure that they'll be ready to play?
They don't want to do a Saskatoon, that's for sure. What they've done is a few things. After giving the guys 8 days off after losing to Guelph, they have gone 3 days on, 1 day off. And they brought in a young guy named Danny DuPont, who was an assistant coach with Shawinigan in 2012. They did a lot of discussion with the guys in Shawinigan about how the Cataracts managed that whole situation when they came back, including the tiebreaker, to win the MasterCard Memorial Cup in 2012. This is a situation that Mark Hunter and Dale Hunter are very cognizant of. They want to keep the guys focused. They want to keep them relaxed. Tonight was the first night that they had a simulated game in that period of time. Shawinigan actually had games against former Cataract players, pro players, AHLers and NHLers a couple of times. This is the first time London has actually re-simulated a game since they lost in the playoffs.
And we thought.
And by the way, John Tavares skated with them this morning. And Nazem Kadri skated with the Knights last week before he went to the World Championship.
Should mention as well, Zach Bell skating with the squad today as well. So you thought the Josh Hosang injury might cost him his overage career. Not so fast. The captains exchange goals in the second. Barclay Goodrow of the North Bay Battalion, and that gentleman, Matt Finn of the Guelph Storm.
This intermission brought to you by BMO, the official bank of the CHL.
CHL champions on ice, in life.
Well, I grew up watching the Regina Pats, where I'm from, and I got drafted to Regina, and kind of the main decision is I really wanted to play for the Pats. The scholarship program they have now, which is great, for every year you play, you get a year free, and I thought that was awesome. Well, the CHL, I mean, it's obviously the Premier League for moving up. It's probably the best step I had as far as moving to the NHL and getting prepared for it.
CHL champions on ice, in life.
All right, 3-2 after 40 minutes of play. The captains exchanging goals. Barclay Goodrow for the Battalion, Matt Finn of the Guelph Storm. How big is that Ben Thompson no goal right now? Meanwhile, in the QMJHL second period action, Bay Como up 4-3 over Valdor. Look at Anthony Mantha. That is his 23rd goal of the playoffs in 22 games at that game in the second period. Portland at Edmonton, game 5, a little bit later on. Barclay Goodrow wants to play in North Bay on Sunday. 20 more minutes to get there.
Game 5 of the Rogers OHL Championship, and North Bay leads Guelph 3-2. Third period on the horizon. Jake Smith right there will have to have a big period. Here's what happened in the second, Sam.
Jason Dickinson heading up the ice on the power play, stopped by Barclay Goodrow, takes it back the other way and picks up the goal, a third of the series, 14th in the playoffs. And then Goodrow makes a great play to Thompson. Thompson charges in while shorthanded again, but it's called a no goal for having directed it in with the glove. And that would help spurn the Guelph Storm. Finn takes it on the far side, buries it, and that's where we stand. The same place we stood after one period of play, one goal up, the Battalion lead.
And just after Finn scored, Nick Ebert got a great chance to tie it. He's standing by with Rob Faulds.
Nick, I almost think that the Ben Thompson disallowed goal got you guys back up, involved, and really charging in that second period.
Yeah, you know what, I think so. Whenever something like that happens, it's, it gives you a little surge, a little more life, and I think we jumped all over it. Obviously that was a big goal by Matt, and, we're really going now, so we just got to keep it going, and, hopefully we can tie it up here.
What was the quick message you got from Scott Walker in that intermission?
I just said keep things going the way you did in the last 5. That was probably our best hockey. Before that, we weren't really playing so well. We just got to keep it going like the last 5 for sure.
Nick, thanks very much.
No problem. Thank you.
RJ, Sam, I took a look and saw Santos had his right skate off. There's a question whether or not he'll be able to return for the Battalion in the third period.
He took that hit from Tyler Bertuzzi, kind of got his leg caught, had to be helped off the ice. Well, isn't it fitting the way this game has worked out? Guelph, known for their offense, needs a goal to tie. North Bay, known for how stingy they are defensively, has to prevent Guelph from scoring that tying goal. We've got a period to watch it play out. 4-on-4 to begin the third. Ebert. Backhand saucer pass. It bounced on Finn, so he has to retrieve it in the neutral zone. Sends it right back in. Dylan Blugis, a tower of power back there for North Bay. Head to Barclay Goodrow. He's out there with Nick Paul. Paul trying to retrieve that loose puck. It's bouncing around, and it's Dickinson that has possession for Guelph. Oh boy, he wanted to make that pass. Good thing he didn't. Goodrow would have had it. Didn't get it out though. Paul one move, tried to make a second move, and couldn't get around Harper. Harper's lost his stick. Paul dealing with 2 Guelph Storm. Goodrow was getting himself open, but Paul couldn't come up with a puck.
That's what North Bay is going to have to do, RJ, is play that style of game, not give up on the offense, because protecting the lead, talked about it in the second period, is not going to make the cut against this Guelph team.
Thompson comes racing in. Couldn't get a shot away. Robbie Fabry wraps it around to Djordjanovic. That Harper's stick still out there in the Guelph end. Djordjanovic to Fabry, just missed. Timing that one perfectly.
Didn't like the call. You look at this Stan Butler's team here. They trailed Niagara 3-1 after winning the first game in that series and staved off elimination on 3 different occasions to come back and win that first round series in 7 games. And so this is not unfamiliar territory for the battalion, and leading this one here 3-2, one step at a time, one shift at a time.
Final few seconds of 4-on-4. North Bay has had the advantage. Wood with a chance and diving to block that shot with Tyler Bertuzzi. Thompson in the corner. Hands it off to Amadio. Back to Wood. Low shot. That one's blocked by Bertuzzi again. Amadio from a sharp angle. Big save by Nichols. Wood to Amadio. His backhander bouncing around. Nichols trying to stay low to see that puck. Wood with another shot. That's deflected just wide. Side of the net. Nichols looking for it. He can't cover it up. Thompson has it. Amadio takes a look at the net. Wood, another chance. That one stopped by Nichols with all kinds of traffic in front of him. To the line, and big Kyle Wood kept it in. And now it finally comes up. McGinn's with Bertuzzi. And it's time for a change for Guelph.
Good pressure by North Bay. That's more the style of game that's going to lead to success here, not sitting back protecting.
Well, in Blue Jays, we'll see a lot of number 6 and number 4 on the blue line for North Bay. Lewis, he turned on the afterburners to get to the puck before Ebert could. Maintains possession, now sends it back to Blue Jays. A wrist shot. Hit a body and was redirected wide. Kraplin quickly on it. Spins. Can't get it in front of the net. Ebert keeping a close watch. Stephen Pirog there as well. Puck goes straight up. Matt Finn trying to direct traffic. He was one of the only players who knew where the puck was. Lead pass out of the reach of Pirog, and now it's icing against the Storm.
Well, Matt Finn picks up the goal, and Jeff Marek talking about the captains exchanging goals in that period. Finn, a draft pick of the Toronto Maple Leafs, second round of the 2012 draft. And a guy who won the Storm Rookie of the Year going back to the 10-11 season, and his progress has been steady but progressive.
Goodrow, Thompson, and Paul out there now against Dickinson, Kosmachuk, and McGinn. 2 big lines going head-to-head. He was going to get sandwiched. Goodrow was just offside. He thought he might get a chance. Play's blown dead.
A couple of offsides, one for each team here. Complaining about offsides. Guys just trying to time it perfectly. Goodrow still complaining about his called offside. Robbie Fabry early on. The 25-plus goal club in the regular season for Stan Butler's North Bay Battalion included Goodrow with his 33. Thompson, 27, doing a good job since coming over in the trade from Kitchener. And Nick Paul with 26 goals. He's combined for 31 here in the playoffs. And you made the point, RJ, accounting for almost 50% of the offense for North Bay in the postseason.
Well, there's no question who the big line for the battalion is, but still, teams are unable to shut them down. Kirby Reichel tried to dish out to Bertuzzi. He was tied up. Reichel took a swipe at bouncing puck. Couldn't get a good handle on it. Thompson up behind the play. Miller tried to jump and join the rush. Had to defend against Fabry. Barkley Goodrow. Overager from Aurora. His shot was too high. That comes all the way to the North Bay blue line.
Same sort of thing we saw in the last period. He just gets his feet moving quickly, and it's a lightning quick release from Goodrow that can at times surprise goaltenders. Nichols has been surprised twice in this game.
Marcus McIver able to get it out to center. Now it comes back to him. Blue just a hard pass. Fortuna redirects it into the Guelph end. Korjanovic takes over from there. Pirog saw a hit coming from McLeod. Couldn't get it deep. Here comes the 17-year-old Amadio along with Zach Fortuna. Justin Auger, Los Angeles Kings pick. He's stood up by McIver. Blue just ramps it around for Janovic. Red back, got there in time to keep it in. Blue just blocked a couple of shots, and that loose puck comes to Fortuna. Works his way to center. Line mates are on a change. That'll give Zach Leslie some time. Scott Kosmachuk along with McGinn. Here's the third man on the line, Jason Dickinson. McGinn drops it off to the corner. Kosmachuk hustles over to get it. Dickinson keeps it in. Kosmachuk hits to the front of the net. Can't get the puck through with Jason Dickinson. Gets it back along the board. Sends it to the corner. Now in a battle for it against Wood. Lewis so solid defensively. He came back to help his defenseman. Got it as far as the Guelph line. Here comes Kosmachuk again. Miller's right in front of him. Vincent Prattman. Is this the game he breaks out in the playoffs? Looking good on that rush. And then the puck rolled as he tried to shoot it, and it went out of play. Let's check in with Rob Faulds.
It's a busy night as the Blue Jays are also at action. You can see Blue Jays baseball on Sportsnet tomorrow as the series against the LA Angels of Anaheim continues. 12:30 Eastern, 9:30 a.m. Pacific time. You'll be able to see it on Sportsnet East, Ontario, West, and Pacific. Sportsnet, home of the Blue Jays.
Puck dumped in by North Bay off the face-off, but that went out of play.
The bench has shortened considerably already here for Stan Butler as he sends his top line of Thompson, Paul, and Goodrow back out there once again.
And it's Fabry, Mitchell, and Reichel against this top line. That's the beauty for Scott Walker. He's got two top lines.
McGinn, Dickinson, Kosmachuk being the other.
Goodrow working in tight quarters with Thompson. Here comes Mitchell. Gets to the line. Waiting for him is Dylan Bluchis. Puck comes to center. Nick Ebert will circle back into his own end. Get away from Goodrow and time to make a play. Matt Finn, couple of nice moves. And there's Goodrow to pick the pocket of Finn. Here he comes the other way. Has Thompson up ahead. 2-on-2 as they come over the Guelph line. Shot from Goodrow. That's blocked by Fabry, who is covering up for his captain, Matt Finn. And that flip pass out of the reach of Pirog goes for icing. North Bay leads. This trophy is on the line. The J. Ross Robertson Cup.
Scott Walker and the Guelph Storm have been in this very position before. In fact, you go back to Tuesday, trailing 3-2 in that game with 30 seconds left. Guelph keeps it in the zone, ends up going back to Nick Ebert. His shot tipped by Zach Mitchell to tie the game. And so still time left, and Guelph continued forging forward. Brock McGinn ends up picking up the trash net side, and they go on to the 4-3 win. So Scott Walker looking for something to channel for his hockey club to come back in this game. He doesn't have to go very far back, just to Tuesday night when McGinn picked up the game winner.
A lot more than 30 seconds to go, too.
Yeah.
Just over 13 minutes remaining in the third. Lots of time. 26 points separated these two teams during the regular season. Guelph was number one in the OHL with 108 points. North Bay finished first in the Central Division with 82 points. Bertuzzi took one off the boards. Bertuzzi another chance, and that one's well wide of the net. He's got to work on the sights. Missed on both sides.
The third one goes in the middle.
Oh, yeah. Almost did, too. Hey, I've worked with you long enough. I've seen you call some shots. McLeod's shot, that's up high. Here's Suter. He comes in over the line. Shot off a skate. Almost got to that loose puck in front of Jake Smith. Brett McKenzie. Youngster scored in this game. Just turned 17 in March. Ben Harper calmly sends it ahead to Kosmachuk. He couldn't play it off the boards, and it's icing.
Ben Harper, 4th round pick of Ottawa in the 2013 draft. He attended the draft, did go in the first couple of rounds and thought about leaving, and then ends up getting picked on day number 2. He was moved from forward to defense by Niagara Falls Riverman minor midget coach Rick Ferroni, and the rest is history. He's one of those steady Eddie type guys back there for Scott Walker.
Dickinson dealing with Brett McKenzie. Comes to center. Phil Baltusberger. Miller's pass. It's a good one. Picked up by McKenzie. Taking a look over to the right. Jarvis working hard to get that puck. Not much on the shot. It trickles to Justin Nichols, and he hangs on.
Talking about Guelph trying to come back. There's Bertuzzi's 3 chances on his last shift. One misses to the right, another one to the right, and this one wide left. So he's got a little Scott Millwood going on right now.
.11:37 to go in the 3rd period. No scoring in this period. It's still a 1-goal lead for North Bay. Blugis with a shot. It was knocked down in front. Never got through to Nichols. McIver had to react quickly. Get control of it. Cleared the zone. Blugis ahead to the New Jersey pick Thompson. He sends it up to center. Nick Paul. He's stopped by Fabry. Mitchell steals. 3-on-2 here for Guelph. Fabry. Shot blocked by McIver. This defense duo of McIver and Blugis comes through with a big defensive play. Not out of danger yet, though. Fabry over to Ebert. He golfs one to the corner. Brock McGinn, he's there to get it. He's a Carolina pick. Back down low to Mitchell, looking in front. McIver plays the body. Mitchell still got a pass in front of the net. Ebert over to Fabry. He's knocked down by Nick Paul. Parker Goodrow glides to center. He's had enough. Needs to get a breather. Pirog, a quick move to get away from McLeod. Can he get a shot? Side of the net. Hugging that short side was Jake Smith, and he'll stop play.
A lot of minutes tonight for Dylan Blugis and Marcus McIver back there. And just as this puck gets turned over, they now have to defend. And it was Blugis who created the turnover himself. And coming back the other way, his partner McIver bails him out of trouble with the block shot. But that's what we're used to seeing out of that dynamic duo on the back end for North Bay.
Scott Kosmachuk out there with Bertuzzi and Dickinson on this shift. Dickinson does a good job to get it in front. Got a shot, too. Bertuzzi dealing with Wood. Bertina has to circle back in his own zone. A hard pass picked up by Brendan Miller. He's being forechecked ferociously by Kosmachuk. Bouncing puck for McLeod. North Bay having trouble clearing. Bertuzzi's shot. That hit something in front. Triple wide. Another chance in front. That one just missed, too. Dickinson sends it back to the line. Leslie. His shot. That hit some bodies. North Bay defended that one. Didn't let the shot through.
It's a lot like the end of the 2nd period.
Everybody tired right now. Bertina just lost the handle as he tried to make a move. Bojanovic has to be careful. Forwards are on a change. Kirby Reichel, he got a change in. He's out there. He's fresh. Head to Fabry. Good hit on Coughlin. Crowd at the Sleeman Centre here in Guelph. They were okay with that hit. Dylan Blugis Ian McIver back out there against the Fabry, Reichel, and Mitchell line. Nice move at center by Lewis. He'll dump it to the corner, go after it himself. Under 9 minutes to go in the third. Kirby Reichel in over the line, and they whistle it down on the offside. North Bay, with 8:49 to go, still lead. The hardest working player of the game. It's brought to you by Ryobi One Plus. 18-volt system, 1 battery, 50 tools.
Well, it's Barclay Goodrow for his work. You see a block shot goes down and then just continues to forge forward. Shot that goes off the post. Good job here picking off the puck from Dickinson. Goes in and scores a shorthanded goal. His 10th of the year when you combine the playoffs and the postseason. Does a good job here to set up Ben Thompson on what was a disallowed goal. But Barclay Goodrow has been that guy who tried to inspire his team with his words, and no question he's inspired his team with his play here tonight.
Aren't many games when he's on the ice that he couldn't be named the hardest working player of the game. Gets the nod tonight. Some good defensive plays as well. We just ran out of time. We couldn't show everything. He's out there now. So is Mitchell, Reichel, and Fabry. Reichel, he was looking for Fabry down low. Pass was out of his reach. Nick Paul has Reichel pinned up against the board. Blue just deals with Mitchell. Puck comes in front. Goodrow's there. Harper, he has to hurry. Goodrow, he's sensing a chance offensively, but it's Mitchell working his way in over to Fabry. What a save by Smith! Jake Smith robbed Fabry on an excellent chance. Guelph still in that North Bay end. Finally, it's blasted past Ebert at the line. Fabry sends it behind the net. Ebert, the defenseman, behind the net. Sharp angle shot. Smith's looking for it. He looked the wrong way. His defenseman protected the puck. Doesn't wind up in the North Bay net. Nichols, he had to be quick to make a save there and keep his team within one. McLeod, along with McKenzie and Amadio. Another shot right on. That one from McLeod, and Nichols absorbs it and stops play.
We talked off the top of the broadcast that Jake Smith would have to have a rebound game, and he has been dynamite in goal for the North Bay Battalion. And here, one of the tougher chances he has to face Fabry there, but he holds his ground, throws out the blocker, and shows great athleticism. And Jake Smith has responded well with 28 saves in this one.
A guy like Fabry, who has almost 60 goals regular season and playoffs combined, you know, he knows how to finish. Have to be good to stop it.
It's come a long way. A 9th-round pick out of Oakville. Jake Smith to be the starter and a very successful one this year for North Bay.
And didn't get the recognition he deserved during the regular season. He was right up there in a lot of statistical categories. Playoffs, he's been great for the battalion. You don't get this far without good goaltending. Kosmachuk, there's another one that tested Smith. Hugh Suter threw it in front of the net. Kosmachuk was dangerously close to it. Connor Jarvis has Praplin following up. He elects to shoot. Nichols made the save, and then a healthy hop. The puck came back in front. Jarvis another chance, and this time Nichols pounces on it and gets the whistle.
Good defensive play by Finn, who takes care of Jarvis. Another guy who's been unheralded this year is Justin Nichols. What a great job he's done in goal, picked up in the offseason from the Sault Ste. Marie Greyhounds. Once Guelph learned that they were not going to get Garrett Sparks back from the Toronto Marlies.
Crowd at the Sleeman Centre trying to urge on their Guelph Storm. Paul, Goodrow, and Thompson are out there again. Every other shift. Stan Butler going to this big line. Goodrow sends it into the Guelph end. Chases after it. He'll be first man to it. Baltusberger plays the body on Goodrow. Doesn't stop him, though. He still has it. Pirog takes a run at Goodrow. Can't take it away from him. Goodrow behind the net. Nobody open. He hangs on to it. Now tried to shovel it in front. It never got through to Thompson. That was an effective but a quick shift from the top line for North Bay. They're off to the bench. Bertuzzi's in over the line. McIver finishes his check. Comes loose to Bratina. Rolling puck. Mitchell doesn't get it out. Amadio along the boards, able to control. Pass in front. McLeod is checked by Reichel. Good pass up ahead to Mitchell. Approaching the 5-minute mark. Remaining in the third. Mitchell wraps it around. There's Kirby Reichel waiting for it. Miller's on in immediately. Lewis clears it down the ice. And that's icing. Down to under 5 minutes remaining, and it's still the Battalion hanging on to the lead. Here's the insurance play of the game. It's brought to you by your local insurance broker, displaying this symbol. Your best insurance is an insurance broker.
Well, we've seen it. Dickinson comes up the ice in the power play, but puck hops over a stick. Barclay Goodrow is there to pick it up. Slick move to the backhand to beat Justin Nichols. A short-handed goal for Goodrow, the captain of the Battalion. To this point, the difference in the game.
And what a surprise after the commercial break. Goodrow, Paul Thompson back out there for the Battalion. Goodrow on the face-off, moves it ahead to Paul. He wraps it off the boards down the ice, and we'll have to do that face-off again in the North Bay end.
Well, you talk about this North Bay team, and the one thing you have to do is just forget about what happened in Game 3 when you were in this exact situation, time ticking down, 3-2 lead. You don't want those thoughts to creep in, and if you're North Bay, or if you're Guelph rather, you're trying to channel those thoughts and say, hey, we can do this, we can do this.
Wesley off the face-off, got a chance. You know, when Jake Smith can see it, more often than not, he'll make the save.
Yeah, he's been really, really solid here tonight. I thought RJ early on in the game, he had some very questionable touches, looking over his shoulder on a couple of occasions. But since that time and those goals not going in, getting those touches, getting his confidence back, he's been really, really solid back there for the Battalion.
Shots are 30-25 in favor of Guelph. North Bay leads 3-2. Goodrow and Mitchell on the face-off. Two number 23s, two overage players. Both would love to finish their career in the CHL with a trip to London for the MasterCard Memorial Cup. Only one will get that dream. Thompson banks it off the boards. Gets after it himself. Nichols a save. Bouncing puck, and it went over Paul's stick. Fabry, he's up there with Mitchell. Catching up is Leslie. Mitchell shot stop. Fabry the rebound. He scored! Kirby Reichel ties it with 4:29 to go.
That is what you call good puck luck. I mean, this could have very easily been 4-2. The Thompson shot produces the rebound. It hops over Nick Paul's stick, and now it's a rush going back the other way. Fabry gives it to Mitchell. The shot creates the rebound. Fabry knocks it off the pads of Smith a second time before Reichel streaks in and has nothing but open net. This thing is tied at 3 when it could very well have been 4-2. What a turn of events.
Guelph Storm come back from a 3-1 deficit to tie this game. With just under 4.5 to go, and the goal for Kirby Reichel announced here at the Sleeman Centre, and the fans are going wild. North Bay needs to find a way. They need a goal, but now it's Guelph starting to feel it again, and that is a scary proposition for the opposition. when Guelph gets rolling offensively. Brock McGinn leaves it for Kosmachuk. Dickinson, his shot doesn't get to the net. McGinn's tied up, can't get to that loose puck. Dickinson shovels it in front. Lewis was there, knocks it down, sends it down the ice. That will be wide of the net, and North Bay has iced it.
Reichel with the game tire here late in this third period has brought the Sleeman Centre back to its feet once again. Mitchell shot, Fabry shot, rebound high off the shoulder, and that's why Smith can't control it. Reichel is right there as the third wave of offense for the Storm to tie it up.
McIver moves it out to center. Valkensberger gets it to an open side. Harper was willing to take the hit to keep the puck back into the North Bay end. Here's Suter. Got it to Pierrot. Low shot. That's handled by Smith. McIver turns it over to Suter. And Hugh Suter's shot is caught by Smith, and he will hang on. Guelph's coming in waves now.
Funny how that puck luck works. We saw it hop over the stick of Dickinson on the power play that led to the Goodrow shorthanded goal, and then off the rebound, Nick Paul had it hop over his stick, which led to the Guelph goal going back the other way.
And a timeout called by Stan Butler.
Yeah, a good time to do it. I mean, your team's reeling. There's still 3:11. Time to get a goal here. The team back on its heels very much the same way it was at the end of that second period. And that goal was so huge for Guelph. Scott Walker calmly back there. Stan Butler calmly behind his bench. It's Ryan Olahan, a former captain of Stan's, who's drawing up the play down there on the bench. So the teams will retreat back to the face-off position, and this building has come alive once again.
That was Guelph's 38th third period goal in the playoffs. That's the most in the OHL. The wave starting to happen at the Sleeman Centre. Crowd having a good time on this Friday night. Friday night hockey here in Guelph. Game 5 of the Rogers OHL Championship. Guelph leads the series 3-1. A win tonight for the Storm would allow them to win the championship and punch their ticket to the MasterCard Memorial Cup. North Bay win forces a Game 6. We are tied. Under 3 minutes to go. Ben Thompson. His shot blocked by Matt Finn. Finn finishes his check. Kirby Reichel, who had that big goal to tie things up here in the third, moved it out to center. Finn retrieves the puck behind his net. Got it ahead to his defense partner Eber. Now to center. Dickinson. He flies in over the North Bay line. On his backhand. Circles the net. Now to his forehand. Can't get a shot through. That's blocked by Miles Liberati. Platina working against Eber. Amadio to the corner. McLeod's hit by Finn. Finn moves it to the line. Amadio's there. That shot's nowhere near the net. Platina has it behind the net, though. Liberati keeps it in. Nick Ebert's lead pass. Saw Kosmachuk up there, and Kosmachuk just couldn't stay onside. Been a few of these where teams have disagreed, but
it's just that extra little push you want to make, that little half step worth of cheek that you're looking for, the edge to get in on your opponent. And we've seen it 3 times here tonight where offsides have been questioned by the officials.
Lewis off the faceoff. Takes it to the corner. Nobody open in front. Put it behind the net. Harper is there. Ahead to Bertuzzi. He touches it. Brings it into the North Bay end for a moment. Pierrot has to wait. Now Hugh Suter is back onside. Battalion have the puck. Suter's bank pass. That doesn't click with Pierrot. Claflin, he can't control through center. And Harper sends it into the North Bay, and he didn't get to center. That's icing.
Fans don't like that one either. And surely he doesn't like it. There's Harper right there, about a half a step behind, and normally you don't see that one being called, but it was called this time around. And good opportunity here for North Bay with an offensive zone faceoff.
Minute 6 to go. Barclay Goodrow out to take the faceoff for North Bay. Zach Mitchell will oppose him. Guelph controls off the draw. Off the board, safely out to center. Kirby Reichel's shot. That was redirected by one of the North Bay defensemen, and Smith made a brilliant save. Paul sends it behind the net. Matt Finn has it. Head to Fabry. Burgess to Goodrow. He's double teamed there. Both Reichel and Ebert were watching him closely. Finn works his way in over the line. His low shot is wide of the net. 30 seconds to go in regulation time. Kosmachuk, Fabry, trying to one-time it. Reichel scores! Can you believe it? Reichel scores again, and Guelph is ahead!
Might be the fastest he's skated all year. And missed something. And Sleeman is going nuts. Finn sends it into the corner. Now, this puck kept in at the line by Fabry, and when he does so, it goes back to Fabry, who fans on it. It's overskated, and when it gets overskated, Reichel is there to bury it. Thompson has it go under his stick. There's Reichel, and off to the races he goes. He looks like California Chrome winning the Derby.
Well, he just put Guelph in a position to win this Derby in the Ontario Hockey League. 26.3 seconds remaining. First lead of the game for the Guelph Storm. Crowd on its feet at Sleeman Centre. Look out here, though. Thompson, his shots off the stick of Harper. Goes on a play.
Good job by Harper to get a stick in the lane, and there he is. The guy with the go-ahead goal. Man, the Sleeman Centre on its feet.
The tying goal and the go-ahead goal for Kirby Reichel, and this Guelph Storm team has been able to get victories in a dramatic fashion. Another third period comeback. Huge face-off. Goodrow and Mitchell. Won by North Bay. Burgess, a shot blocked by Dickinson. Another one put in deep. Puck's in the corner. Ebert moves it. Oh, Miller runs into the referee. That's it. The buzzer goes. The Guelph Storm are OHL champions. They're going to the MasterCard Memorial Cup.
Do you believe it? Game 3, 2 goals, final 30 seconds. Game 5, they come on back home. Under 5 minutes left. Able to get the tying goal, and under 30 seconds left again.
Kirby Reichel, 2 third-period goals. Clinches the OHL Championship for the Guelph Storm. Nobody's sitting down at the Sleeman Centre. What a terrific season for Guelph. 52 wins, 108 points. They were the team that was expected to be in this position. Wasn't easy, though. And North Bay gave them a big battle, even though it only went 5 games. North Bay, what an effort. Let's go down to the ice. Rob Faulds is standing by with Guelph's hero. Rob.
Well, what a way to finish this out to go to the MasterCard Memorial Cup. Kirby, you get the deal from Windsor to Guelph because there was an opportunity. Then you get the tying goal and now the winning goal.
Yeah, I don't know, man. That's crazy. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. I don't know.
You came to a team that had such a solid work ethic. Scott Walker demanded it all from you, and it looks like every member of this team gave it.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's good. I mean, everyone's bought in. You know, we didn't have our best game tonight, but we knew we just had to keep pushing. We were going to come out on top.
Now you got one more big step to go.
Yeah. Enjoy it for a few days, and then, you know, we'll get ready for the memory.
Congratulations, Kirby.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Kirby Reichel is now going to take the traditional trip down the handshake row, but this is something that he will remember forever and ever.
Guelph Storm scored a ton of goals. 437 when you combine the regular season and the playoffs, and they did it in dramatic fashion, set franchise records for points and wins, most points in the OHL since the 2011 Mississauga team. They had 4 sets of 7+ wins in a row this season. Only lost back-to-back twice all season long. That bodes well for them going to the MasterCard Memorial Cup.
And won each of their 4 series in 5 games. They did so against Plymouth to get things kicked off, and then defeated the MasterCard Memorial Cup host London Knights in round 2 before beating Connor Brown, the leading scorer in the Ontario Hockey League, and the Erie Otters in round 3. And here tonight on home ice, game 5 against the North Bay Battalion. Win it in 5 games again.
2 captains shake hands. Barclay Goodrow's junior career comes to an end. So does Ben Thompson's, Matt McLeod's. They were heart and soul players for the battalion. The Guelph Storm are OHL champions. We'll wrap after this.